quite an intriguing design of vehicle. Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and I'll be unboxing a nice big little tank. Does that make sense? This is a 16th scale of the little modern Wiesel. So this is a German armored vehicle. It's one of the smallest, I guess they call tankettes, that are in use today. So tankettes were a small infantry support vehicle. They were quite popular or common during World War II. And this was designed because the German forces realized that with airborne troops, the troops didn't really have any weaponry that could adequately hold off main battle tanks. The main battle tanks being very well armored and also very well armed. So they've made the Wiesel, which is very light. It's only a two-man tank. So there's the driver and also the commander gunner. And there's two versions. The main version is actually the tow version. So that has the rockets or the guided missiles that would take out tanks. And then this is a support vehicle with a 20mm autocannon. So let's have a closer look. So here's the box art. Really nice box art. I actually prefer this version to the tow version. I mean, the tow version has more firepower, but I quite like how this small little vehicle here has this gigantic gun barrel hanging out the front. So there's a 20mm autocannon. You can see the ammo feeds across this side, and there's also on the other side. This vehicle actually weighed less than a Humvee, and it's armored enough to stop small arms fire, which is adequate for this sort of vehicle. It's very fast. It's 70 kilometers an hour. You should see videos on these going. They fly around off-road. Okay, let's lift the lid and see what we get inside. Okay, so Takom, very much their style of kit, well packaged, all grey plastic. Let's open up some of this and have a close look. Let's look at these big chunky bits. So we've got the hull here. So you can get an idea of how big this kit's going to be. So in 16th scale, this is like a gigantic 35th scale tank in size. So we've got the sections that just fit together there. See how neatly they all fit together. That's just dry fitted. It's quite an intriguing design of vehicle. Pretty basic, as you can see. I mean, this is a driver's compartment. That's just enough room for a person here. You've got the Audi engine over here, and then the turret and the commander will be standing within there, instructing the driver and then also using the weaponry. Okay, let's have a tighter look at the detail. This is the grille detail here above the engine. Here's the driver's compartment with the periscope openings. This is the support section which you're going to be cutting off. Nicely engraved details, nice and deep too, scale wise, because you need them to be a little bit bigger on a larger scale. You can also see these pads here, which is the anti-slip surface pads. So when you're climbing around, you don't fall down. And then you can see the actual structure of the hull here to the drive system. Oops. And then you've got all this detail on the bottom as well from the pressing of the hull. Looks really nice. Not sure what's here. This could be the exhaust. And then there'll be the back section of the vehicle as well. So really nice. Just how it all fits together. You have a lot of tools along here. It's really well done. Okay, so there's your whole section. Now here we have the figure. A figure in 16 scale, as you can imagine, it's 120mm for the figure. They're decent size, meaning you get some decent detail as well. Okay, so you see that figure is pretty much halved and hollowed out. Let's have a close-up look on the face. Let's zoom this in a bit. Already you can see how clean the molds are. There's no flashing at all. And then on the face, they've done a really good job of getting all those details, particularly around the ears as well. Quite often in the 35th scale, there'll be no ear detail, just be flat. And that'll be a bit of a challenge to paint too. Figure painting is quite an art. Now the folds on the fabric as well, you see on the arms, they look very natural. There's the other half of the arm coming to a flat where it connects onto the torso. Here you've got the two sections of the other arm. You have the shoes. So they've got a lace detail, and the soles have got grip and sole detail as well. So we have multiple pieces. This is the back of the head, so there's the neck section. And then that's finished off with the beret on the top there. Okay, we'll look into the torso. Torso's got some really nice deep creases. Fine engraved lines there for the pockets. Also you can see the collars are quite pronounced. The back, nice and smooth here where it's all stretched and then bunched. And then we have the trousers as you're sitting inside the turret. And then you have the other side over here. Hands are really good too. Oh, there's the other one in a fist. Okay, so there's your figure. Then we have a sprue of clear parts. Quite a lot of parts here, they're actually quite chunky. I got to zoom in, it's probably easier to see. So we've got all the periscopes. The periscopes are actually quite huge. So the periscopes are this whole size here. So you have quite a bit of detail poking in to the body of the tank as well as protruding. So you'll be using these on the driver's compartment, which has got 3 periscopes, and then the rest will be used in the turret. And then we also have light lenses here and here. Okay, so they're your clear parts. Whoop. And then we have this sprue here, which is some smaller components. It looks like some tools and the barrel of the gun. Probably gun components here as well. Let me get this opened up. Okay, so there's a gun barrel there, all in one piece. You notice here that there's a raised section, so it shows slide molding. So slide mold goes into here to give additional detail, so hence there's the opening on the end of the barrel as well. These are like gun components, and some of these other finer parts are probably gun components too. So I'd say that's mainly autocannon parts. So if we do a zoom, I'll just quickly go around here. Super clean and tidy. No sprue or flash, I should say, on the sprue at all. Got some nice rivet detail there. Okay, and there's the barrel. Okay, so it's flattened on one side, so it's keyed. And then as we get to the end, you can see how the slide molding allows for the open barrels. Okay, which is a nice touch. Okay, so we got that. All right, so we've got another sprue here with some little bits and pieces. So this has some tools, few grills, so the finer details that are going to go on the outside of the tank. Okay, so we've got a shovel here. It's probably parts of the fenders, parts of the gun. This part I can't really tell, but I think it's a template for actually making the tracks. There we go. So can't imagine that being actually on the tank anywhere, but it does look quite uniform in track template, I think, because it does have individual tracks. And then we've got various handles. There's probably some filler caps. There's a larger panel here. What's that? Looks like an armored panel. Got the axe right there. You got some swing arms for the suspension. These look like the fenders that we saw before. They'll be curved, so they're probably rubber on the real tank. And then that looks like a grill of some kind. Okay. Next we'll move into the turret. So quite an exciting part. This is the weapons area. Also where the figure's going to be sitting. Very large chunky components. Okay, so you have the base of the turret here. It's got the pretty standard, I guess, bayonet type mounting lugs there, which we're used to. Top of the turret, it's actually quite low profile. We've got some bins here. These are probably on the side of the turret for holding all the ammunition, the 20mm. Got the breech of the gun here in two halves. Got the turret hatch. Then some other feed, I guess, components for the autocannon. Now we do a tighter look here. See how there's some holes in the bottom of those ammo bins. Some nice surface detail here. And you've got the nice curves of the turret hatch. There's a base with the bayonet mountings. Here's the turret itself. You see how low profile it is. So you've got the mount for the gun and then also the commander's hatch. Another bucket there, quite deep. And then there's a detail on the gun. It's really nice. Okay, and some other chunky bits. Alright, now we've got, this looks like the back of the tank with some fenders. Got some drive covers, and then what else we have here? This will be the driver's hatch cover. There's the exhaust system, I think. Quite nice and chunky bits. Alright, so there's the driver's hatch cover. Got a little dome on the top for its head. There's the back of the hull. Got nice reinforcing lines, and you have some, that'll be for the tank, I'm assuming. Some drive sprocket covers. There's your saw. It's got very pronounced teeth. That's the part I think is the exhaust. It's by the front end of the hull. And then here's your fenders. So you've got left and right. Here you can see the anti-slip detail there as well. And then that's probably the idler covers. And some bits not too sure about. Okay, from there we've got these. There's multiple sprues in here of all the tracks. So individual tracks. So you're going to have a really nice sag effect. Now what do we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sprue of track. And here we go. So there's a lot of pieces in all. So they're going to be sandwiched together. You have the actual track pins here where they're going to be hinged, and then you have the end points as well. So you need to spend a bit of time on these tracks, a little bit more work than say on a 35th scale, I think. But so much more pronounced detail. So these need to be cut very carefully. So they're triangular sections. You've got the pins here, these are the connecting pins, and then you have your road pads on this side. So quite chunky. And there's all the pins. Okay, so 4 of those. And now what we've got? We've got our last bag of large sprue. And this is much of the drive system, as in the wheels. Okay, so there's 2 sprue which are identical. And they have all the wheels on them. Okay, so you've got your road wheels, the drive, and then also the idlers. And you'll be able to see quite a lot of nice bolt work and detail here. So there's large idlers, you can see the bolts in there. The road wheels. Then this item here, which appears to be a rear vision mirror, I think. Antenna support. You've got some swing arms for suspension. A variety of handles. Some more antennas here. And then we've got the drive sprocket, which is right there. It's really nice and clean. Not too sure what those bits are. And then we've got some tie downs. Okay, and then from there we are left with, actually there's this. There's a small little bag of soft bits. These are the belt supports for the ammo feed. Okay, so they're a rubbery material. And you can see the ammo which is in there. So you can see how it's fed and how soft this is, because the real ones would have been flexible. So it gives a really nice natural sort of sag. Look really good. Okay, so 20mm ammo in there. And then we have this, which is the instruction manual all sealed up with some photo etch. Quite substantial photo etch there. And we've got decals. Okay, so let's have a look at the decals. I'm not going to take these out of the packet. But you got German markings here for when they were in Kosovo. So you've got the K4, which is in the white, and I4 markings. Different registrations, German crosses, and then some numbers. Okay, then we've got this photo etch here. So nice grills. And then some chunky parts here, they're probably a part of the gun. And another grill here, which will be the sign, I think, for the exhaust or intake system. And a little tube. Not too sure whether the little tube's going to be used, but it looks like stainless steel tube. Very fine. Okay, then we get into the manual. So you get a pretty big manual here. Let's zoom out. Let's get that all focused. Okay, so we've got Wiesel Mk20. Quite a nice little profile there. Now these were designed, since I got that there, these were designed to be airlifted into combat zones. So initially they did try some of these with parachutes, but they actually destroyed 4 prototypes trying to do so. But it's easy enough for them to actually just fly them into an airfield or drop them in with a helicopter, and then off they go to support the paratroopers. Alright, so you got your first page here. It's got a paint guide using MIG numbers there. You'll be able to work out with the names of the paint what you need. Basic ideas on how to apply decals and cutting out the photo etch. You've got your legend of all the parts here. We've just been through all those, and then we start construction on the hull. So we've got the base of the hull, gluing together the torsion bars into the suspension. So that gives me the impression that the suspension probably actually works on this. You've got the back of the hull being glued in with some of the tools. More of the suspension going on the base of the hull. Other side as well. Road wheels going on. Tools going onto the side of the hull. The exhaust system onto the other side. And then we start building up the tracks. So that large piece is actually the template, and you lay them down here to help you build the tracks. And then the tracks are put on, and that's pretty much the base of the hull done. Okay, so you've got the outsides of the wheels going in place just after you put on the tracks, and then work on the top of the hull. So we've got the hatch cover for the driver, various little bits and pieces, tie downs, tools going in place on the glacis plate, I guess, call it, on the front of the hull. You've got the 3 periscopes there for the driver. Oh, there's another tube. Okay, so there's 2 of these little tubes. We'll work out where they go. And then we've got antennas, and then the light covers. Top of the hull mounted to the base of the hull. Start work on the fenders. Some details on the top of the fenders there, and then the fenders are attached to the hull. Got some photo etch, which appears to be little toolbox areas, and then we've got the turret. Okay, so top of the turret to the base of the turret. Got a few boxes here, the commander's hatch. Then we start building the gun. So you got your breech of the gun here. All little fine bits, so much detail within the gun itself, and then that's mounted on the turret. We've got the mounts here, and then we start building the boxes for the ammo. So it's got 2 ammo feeds. So one on the right hand side and one on the left hand side. Got the barrel. So there's a muzzle that glues on the end. We've got the rear vision mirrors and the lights, and then you attach the turret onto the hull. Okay, so here's the last bit. We're going to do the figure. So the figure is basically putting together the various halves for the arms and torsos and legs, and then gluing together. And that's it, and then you have your choices of markings. So what have we got here? We've got a K4 version. This one is the I4 version. Another K4 version here. That's in Kosovo. And this one's a standard German version. And that's it. And then you have a line drawing of the back. So, got different angles there too. That's a great kit, I think. I really like it. So this is my open box review of the Takom. It's quite new. Wiesel Mk20. So this is the infantry support vehicle or tankette, and this is the one with the 20mm autocannon. So I hope you liked that review, and if you did so, please give me a like below, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please think about subscribing. So thank you for joining me.